Hi everyone, welcome to Humanities. We're going to learn something different today, so get excited. Okay, so let's get right into our learning. I'm going to show you two things. Okay, what are these? Yes, they're trees. So, what's different about the trees? Yes, one of the trees has a face on it. Okay, so, what does this have to do with our learning today? Well, you're going to find out because we're going to go into our learning targets. We have two today. So here is the first learning target. Let's go this way. I can explain what characters are. So that's our first learning target. We have to explain what characters are. Our second learning target says, I can identify a character in Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. So we're going to explain what characters are, and then we're going to identify a character in the story that we're going to read. Okay, so let's look at the word characters. Ready? We're going to say it 3 times. Characters. Characters. And one last time. Characters. Okay? Good. Now, characters are the people, animals, or things that are inside a story. Okay, so listen again. Characters are the people, animals, or things that are inside a story. Okay, now, how do you know that something is a character? Well, characters do certain things. So first thing that characters do is that characters think. Okay, so they think. Characters also talk. Characters move. And characters have feelings. Okay, so let's do a whole rewind. Characters, let's look at that word again. Characters are the people, animals, or things that are inside a story. Okay? Characters think, characters talk, characters move, and characters have feelings. Okay? Let's go back to our 2 trees. Let's think. Which one of these 2 trees would be a character in a story? Think about what characters do. Right. If you said this tree, you are correct. What made you think that? Yes, look at the tree. It has a mouth. So if the tree has a mouth, what do you think the tree does with its mouth? It talks. And we know that characters think, characters talk, characters move, and characters have feelings. So when you read a story and you see something that thinks, okay, that talks, that moves, and has feelings, then it's a character. And again, characters can be people, they can be animals, and they can be things that are inside a story. But characters have to think, they talk, they move, and they have feelings, okay? So now let's see if we can identify, meaning we can find a character in the story that I'm going to read to you. Now, I'm not going to read this entire story to you today for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a long story. Number 2, this is a story that we're going to be inside for a while. So you will get a chance to finish the story, and then we will ask questions along the way and do a lot of fun things with this story. So the title of this book is Sylvester and the Magic Pebble. Okay, remember title, front cover, and this is the what? Back cover, good, you did not forget. By William Steig. Now, I don't see any other names underneath or name, so that means that William Steig is the author. What did he do? He wrote the words, good. And he's also the illustrator. What did he do? He drew the pictures. Okay, so again, we're not going to read the whole story, but we're trying to find characters in this story. Let's make sure that you can look at these beautiful illustrations as I read. Sylvester Duncan lived with his mother and father at Acorn Road in Oaksdale. One of his hobbies was collecting pebbles of unusual shape and color. So pebbles are just small rocks. One rainy Saturday during vacation, he found a quite extraordinary one. Extraordinary means just very different. It was flaming red, shiny, and perfectly round, like a marble. As he was studying this remarkable pebble, he began to shiver, probably from excitement, and the rain felt cold on his back. I wish it would stop raining, he said. To his great surprise, the rain stopped. It didn't stop gradually, that means a little bit at a time, as rain usually do. It ceased, that means it stopped right away. The drops vanished. Vanish means to disappear. On the way down, the clouds disappeared. Everything was dry, and the sun was shining as if rain had never existed. So as if the rain never happened. In all his young life, Sylvester had never had a wish gratified so quickly. It struck him that magic must be at work, and he guessed that the magic must be in the remarkable-looking red pebble, where indeed it was. To make a test, he put the pebble on the ground and said, I wish it would rain again. Nothing happened. But when he said the same thing, holding the pebble in his hoof, the sky turned black. There was lightning and a clap of thunder, and the rain came shooting down. That means the rain came down really, really fast. What a lucky day this is, thought Sylvester. From now on, I can have anything I want. My father and my mother can have anything they want. My relatives, they can have everything they want. And my friends and anybody at all can have everything anybody wants. He wished the sunshine back in the sky. And he wished a wart on his left hind fetlock would disappear. And it did. And he started home, eager to amaze his mother and his father with his magic pebble. He could hardly wait to see their faces. Maybe they wouldn't even believe him at first. As he was crossing Strawberry Hill, thinking of some of the many, many things he could wish for, he was startled to see a mean, hungry lion looking right at him from behind some tall grass. He was frightened. If he hadn't been so frightened, he could have made the lion disappear. Or he could have wished him safe at home with his father and mother. He could have wished the lion would turn into a butterfly or a daisy or a gnat. He could have wished many things, but he panicked and couldn't think carefully. I wish I were a rock, he said, and he became a rock. The lion came bounding over, sniffed the rock 100 times, walked around and around it, and went away confused, perplexed, puzzled, and bewildered. I saw that little donkey as clear as day. Maybe I'm going crazy, he muttered. So what happened to Sylvester? He turned into a rock. And there was Sylvester, a rock on Strawberry Hill, with the magic pebble lying right beside him on the ground. He was unable to pick it up. Why was he unable to pick it up? Why couldn't Sylvester pick up the pebble? Yeah, he was a rock. He couldn't pick up the pebble. Oh, how I wish I were myself again, he thought. But nothing happened. He had to be touching the pebble to make the magic work. But there was nothing he could do about it. His thoughts began to race like mad. He was scared and worried. Being helpless, he felt hopeless. He imagined all the possibilities, and eventually he realized that his only chance of becoming himself again was for someone to find the red pebble and to wish that the rock next to it would be a donkey. Someone would surely find the red pebble. It was so bright and shiny, but what on earth would make them wish that a rock were a donkey? The chance was 1 in a billion at best. Sylvester fell asleep. What else could he do? Night came with many stars. Meanwhile, back at home, Mr. and Mrs. Duncan paced, that means moving back and forth, the floor, frantic with worry. Sylvester had never come home later than dinner time. Where could he be? They stayed up all night, wondering what had happened, expecting that Sylvester would surely turn up by morning. But he didn't, of course. Mrs. Duncan cried a lot, and Mr. Duncan did his best to soothe her. That means to make her feel better. Both longed to have their dear son with them. I will never scold Sylvester again as long as I live. And scold just means to speak really mean to someone, said Mrs. Duncan, no matter what he does. At dawn, they went about inquiring of all the neighbors. So they were asking all the neighbors about Sylvester. So we are actually going to stop here, okay? We will come back to the story tomorrow, but now I want you to think about the characters that you met inside here. So I want you to think, if you saw something that thinks, talks, moves, and has feelings, then it's a character. Okay, you probably have to go back inside this story. So that means you have to probably listen to this video again so you can pay attention to the names of the characters. Okay. After you're done, you're going to go on Seesaw. Okay. And you're going to get yourself ready. But first, you're going to make an illustration of a character that you heard about and you saw in the story. Okay. You can use paper to draw, or if you don't have paper, you can use our whiteboard and the marker. When you're done, you're going to go on to Seesaw, and you're going to record yourself talking about the character that you drew, okay? And that'll be your assignment for Humanities. You have been submitting work all week, so you know exactly what you need to do. Have a great day. I will talk to you tomorrow, and we will get back to this book tomorrow. Bye.